now I think this new information would indicate I don't have, this is just common sense. There's a financial connection between Elizabeth Warren and the Working Families Party. Now, I personally tend not to focus on children of candidates, especially young children, but Elizabeth Warren's daughter is a grown adult. She has some high-profile positions, and if her positions are connected to her mother, I think it's fair game. So let's start with the fact that in 2017 to 2018, here we go. This is the IRS 990 form for Demos, the organization, the think tank, July 1st to June 30th, 2018. So that's basically their fiscal year, and just say 2017 to 2018 tax filings. This is for Demos, okay? So when you go to grants that they issued, Working Families Party. Okay, here we go. They gave $15,000. This is Demos. They gave $15,000 to the New Jersey Working Families Party. They gave $15,000 to Working Families Organization, which is the Working Families Party, $15,000, and Working Families Party Inc., $15,000. So $45,000 to different parts of the Working Families Party. Well, that's $45,000 is not a tiny little chunk. It's not a tiny chunk of change for a progressive think tank, Demos, that is based on donations. Like think tanks, in large part, are investors, but also donations. And I spoke with someone, a source, who's familiar with Demos, and said, they don't have like this massive budget. So them giving $45,000 let me find it, of their total $229,523 in grants they issued, $45,000 of that was to the Working Families Party. That's 20% of their grants to the Working Families Party. Mind you, they did not give anything to the Working Families Party before 2017 to 2018. Well, my source said this is like charities who are depend on people giving them money. It's like charities donating to other charities. It's kind of like, yes, it happens, but it's a bit of an oddity, right? So, I don't know, call me cynical. Elizabeth Warren's daughter is, as far as we know, it says in her profile here, is chairman of Demos, a prominent progressive think tank. So, in her LinkedIn, it says that she has been chairperson of Demos from 2010 to current. In fairness, sometimes people don't update their LinkedIn if they leave, but I mean, this is a high-profile individual. I would think she would update her LinkedIn if she was no longer with Demos. So it says currently on her personal LinkedIn that she's still the chairperson of Demos. And that would be also a high position on the board of Demos. So here you have Elizabeth Warren's adult daughter, chairperson of Demos, giving $45,000 to the Working Families Party in the calendar year 2017 to 2018. And then the Working Families Party in 2019 endorsing Elizabeth Warren. Again, 20% of the total grants that Demos gave out was to the Working Families Party, who they did not give money to in the prior fiscal year. When we also looked in the Wayback Machine. When I say we, I should say Jen. Jen looked in the Wayback Machine because currently, again, I'm not trying to make a scandal here, but conspicuously, you go to Demos's website now. Amelia Warren Tyagi is not on the board. Is not on the board of Demos. She's not even listed on the website. Well, how is she in her bio? She's the chairperson of Demos. On her LinkedIn, she's still the chairperson of Demos. And on the Wayback Machine, the last time we found her on the website, Demos, was May. Now, the way Jen explained it to me, the way Wayback Machine works, she could have been taken off the website at a later date than May. It's not necessarily that May 2nd was the day that they wiped her or the last day she was on the website. They could have taken her off weeks after that, but this is just what shows up in the Wayback Machine. So, again, I want to be fair to Elizabeth Warren, and I want to be fair to Working Families Party and Demos. So, call me old-fashioned. Oh wait, no, there's another. I'm not finished. There's another connection. It's not just Amelia, who is chairperson of Demos, as far as we know. Elizabeth Warren's campaign treasurer, Paul Eagerman, is on the board, currently, of Demos. Again, this is their website currently. He's on the board. The same Paul Eagerman that, frankly, has been described. Elizabeth Warren decries big money in politics. Her campaign treasurer embodies it. And this is with publicintegrity.org. Blah, 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 blah. But Warren has also selected for her presidential campaign treasurer a man whose contributions run counter to Warren's statements, among the most emphatic among the more than 20 Democrats running for president against big money in politics. Dubbed a personal Pac-Man to politicians by the Boston Globe more than a decade ago, retired software engineer Paul Eagerman has quietly established himself as a key benefactor and rainmaker for Democratic political committees and liberal causes. Okay, so Elizabeth Warren's daughter is chairperson of Demos, the progressive think tank, which again, I think they do great work. They give $45,000 to the Working Families Party. The Working Families Party turns around and endorses Elizabeth Warren. They won't, and while endorsing Elizabeth Warren, they won't release their actual membership total. So it's very possible, and frankly likely, that their actual membership, the rank and file of the Working Families Party, actually endorsed Bernie Sanders. So something doesn't smell right here, particularly with the fact that I have sources familiar with the Working Families Party. I don't want to say more because I don't want it to be known who they are, who basically says Working Families Party is broke. So, this donation or this grant from Demos potentially could be a signal, could be looked at as a signal. You back the horse we want you to back. There's more where that came from. This is what I was told by a source, frankly, very familiar with how the Working Families Party works and their current financial situation. So, why was this not disclosed at the time the Working Families Party endorsed Elizabeth Warren? I mean, Elizabeth Warren's daughter is the chairperson of a major think tank that gave $45,000 in the last fiscal year to Working Families Party. And secondly, I would argue, did Elizabeth Warren's campaign, or did Elizabeth Warren have any communication with Demos about where they should give or what parties they should issue grants? Why is Elizabeth Warren's daughter still the chairperson of Demos? If she is, why is it not listed on their website? And when did they take it off their website? Because as of May, the Wayback Machine tells us she was listed as the chairperson of Demos. Thirdly, not to blow up anybody's spot here, we do something behind the scenes. It's good to know when you're a journalist if the people you're reaching out to have read your email, right? So we have a little tracker to see if somebody opened our email. It's not, it's a service. I think you pay $5 to $10 a month, and you could track if people have read your email. How many times? Well, thank you. Jen and I have been following this. Like, it's insane. I don't know what the count is now, but before I went live, and we've whited out the person's name so they don't get crazy spam. But the person that we've emailed at Working Families Party, the same questions that I'm saying should be asked, this email has been opened 212 times since last night. Our questions to the Working Families Party. I'm assuming it hasn't been opened 212 times by this one individual we sent to the Working Families Party. I'm assuming that this has been forwarded within the Working Families Party and potentially to people at Demos, potentially to people at the Warren's campaign, a whole lot of times. 212 times this email being opened in less than 24 hours, frankly, in less than 12 hours, right, Jen? It's a lot of times to open an email. My guess is this email that we have sent is passing around hot and heavy between the Working Families Party, people in the Working Families Party, maybe to Warren's campaign, Warren's press office, a little less. They've opened it 20 times because we also reached out to Warren's campaign. What is going on here, folks? Something don't smell right. All we could do is ask the all we could do is present the evidence. All we could do is ask the questions. The Working Families Party has opened our email. It might be more now, 212 times. Warren campaign has opened our email 20 times. You know, what are they going to say? They're not going to be like, yes, you caught us. It was it was pay for play. But if Elizabeth Warren is running on this anti-corruption crusader thing, and her adult daughter, who, by the way, I don't think Elizabeth Warren should bear the burden, or she shouldn't be attacked for what her daughter does, in my opinion. But her daughter also is a bigwig at a private health insurance company. So she's at a private health insurance company. She's the chairperson of Demos. She's an adult, and she has some high-profile positions. And if she's the chairperson of this think tank, I would assume she has a pretty big say on who they're issuing grant money to. And I would assume around 2017, 2018, that fiscal year, Elizabeth Warren was already kind of planning or plotting her campaign run, because she ran for re-election in Massachusetts and announced her run for president literally a month after she was re-elected in Massachusetts. So it's not like Elizabeth Warren's daughter is some low-level, janitor or secretary. She's the chairperson. And we'd love to hear back from Demos. Is she still the chairperson? If she's not, when was she last chairperson? If she is, why is it no longer listed on your website? Very odd, very odd, very odd. Also, there is a long relationship between Demos and Elizabeth Warren. This is from an article in 2014. Should Warren win, she will likely have her own infrastructure in place with Demos, the research and advocacy group whose slogan is, quote, an equal say and an equal chance for all. Notice the similarity of the title of Warren's book. Of course, the left's vision of equal opportunity is usually based on some absurd equality of outcome scheme, which is part of the core policy positions of Demos: to spend more, tax more, redistribute more, restrict political speech more. Obviously, this is a right-wing writer or whatever. But the point is, before she was a senator, Demos honored Warren at its 10th anniversary gala in 2010 with its Transforming America Award, because Warren was the architect of the Dodd-Frank financial reform legislation. Well, call me cynical Susie. They gave her an award in 2010. When did Elizabeth Warren's daughter start at Demos as the chairperson? 2010. Again, I actually liked Elizabeth Warren a lot more in 2010 and 2012 when she was entering political life and then ran for senator. She was a liberal firebrand then. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.